The cold wakes you before the sun does, not because you want to wake up, not because you're rested, but because the ground beneath your body feels like ice. You open your eyes slowly. For a moment, you forget where you are. Then reality returns. The mud, the smell of wet earth, the distant sound of artillery, the war. It's 1944, somewhere in Europe, and you are just another soldier in World War II. You pull your thin blanket tighter around your shoulders and sit up. Around you, dozens of men are already awake. Nobody talks much. There isn't much left to say. The same fear that haunted yesterday waits patiently for today. A whistle cuts through the morning air. Breakfast, if you can call it that. A metal cup of lukewarm coffee. A small piece of bread. Sometimes canned meat. Sometimes nothing at all. You eat quickly. Not because you're hungry, because you never know when the next meal will come. A young soldier across from you stares at a photograph, his wife, his daughter, the little girl he hasn't seen in 2 years. He smiles just for a second, then folds the picture away and becomes a soldier again. The officers gather everyone together. Today's mission is explained. Advance. Hold the position. Don't retreat. Simple words, impossible tasks. Nobody asks questions, because everyone understands. The battlefield doesn't care about plans. The battlefield has its own rules. You check your rifle again, even though you've checked it 3 times already. A dirty weapon can mean death. A single jammed bullet can change everything. Your hands move automatically. Training has become instinct. Fear has become routine. The order finally comes, move out. The soldiers begin marching. Boots crunch against frozen ground. The line stretches across the countryside. Fields, trees, ruined villages. Everywhere you look, war has left its scars. A church without a roof. A school reduced to rubble, homes abandoned by families who once laughed inside them. Hours pass, the march continues. Nobody complains. Energy is precious. Words are expensive. Then suddenly, a sound. Sharp, violent, gunfire. Everyone drops instantly. Your heart explodes inside your chest. The peaceful morning disappears in a second. Bullets crack through the air. Dirt erupts beside you. Someone screams. Someone else shouts orders. You press yourself into the ground. The world becomes chaos. Smoke, noise, fear. You fire toward an enemy you can barely see. Not because you're brave, because survival leaves no choice. Minutes feel like hours. Every second stretches forever. Then, as suddenly as it began, silence. The shooting stops. The smoke slowly drifts away. You look around. Some men stand, others don't. A medic rushes forward carrying bandages. A wounded soldier calls for his mother. Another stares blankly into space, too shocked to speak. War isn't glory. War isn't adventure. Most days, it's simply survival. The unit continues forward. There is no time to mourn, no time to process what happened. The mission continues. It always does. By afternoon, exhaustion takes over. Your uniform is soaked. Your feet ache. Your stomach growls. But the day is far from over. The soldiers begin digging, not graves, trenches. Hours of digging through dirt and rock. Building protection before night falls. Every shovel of earth might save a life later. As the sun begins to disappear behind the horizon, the temperature drops again. The sky turns orange, then grey, then black. For a brief moment, the battlefield looks peaceful, almost beautiful, almost. Dinner arrives, a small ration, beans, soup, hard biscuits, nobody complains. Food is food. Some soldiers write letters home, carefully choosing words, leaving out the terrifying parts, telling mothers not to worry, telling wives they'll be home soon, even when they aren't sure it's true. Others simply sit in silence, staring into the darkness, thinking about home, a warm bed, a family dinner, the life they once had, the life that now feels like another world. The night watch begins. Not everyone gets to sleep. You take your turn, standing guard, listening, watching, waiting. Every shadow looks suspicious. Every distant sound feels dangerous. The enemy might attack, or they might not. Either way, you stay awake. Hours later, your shift ends. You return to your position, carefully lowering yourself into the trench. The ground is still cold. The blanket is still thin. Tomorrow will probably look exactly like today. Another march, another battle, another test of survival. Before closing your eyes, you look up. The stars shine above the battlefield. The same stars seen by families hundreds of miles away. The same stars seen by soldiers on both sides of the war. For a moment, everything feels strangely quiet, peaceful, human. Then somewhere in the distance, artillery fires again. The war continues, and tomorrow, when the cold wakes you before the sun, you will do it all over again. Because that was life for millions of soldiers during World War II. Not heroes in movies, not legends in history books, just ordinary people trying to survive another day in the deadliest conflict the world had ever seen.